Hello, Precision Walls leaders. This is Dr. Gary making good bosses into great leaders with compassionate accountability. Last week's training went really well, and we focused almost the entire time on communication styles and coaching. So those are the two things that I want you to work on in terms of stories between now and our next session. Communication styles, action, process, people, and idea. Here's what I'd like you to think about. What's your style? And how are you assessing the style of somebody else and adjusting your style to what their needs are? And be aware of that in a situation that you can share a story where you were a little more patient as an action person, listen to a process person asking a whole bunch of questions, or a process person who's focused on the activities to accomplish the work and put the plan together. And maybe you need a little reminder from a people person on the impact that that plan has on the people. So pay attention to styles, and it does get complicated when you put on top of it all the other things that we've learned about personality styles and so on. However, you can apply your emotional intelligence to this by being aware of what the person is paying attention to and what they're feeling at the time, which is our second strategy. To continue to work on your emotional intelligence strategy. Most of the times we're going to be asking you to write a story on emotional intelligence because it's so important. It is directly connected to your leadership effectiveness and to your life. So let's continue to work on those strategies and apply what your one area, whether it's self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, or relationship management, to do a better job interacting with your fellow workers or your family and friends. So work on that strategy and give us a story. And finally, always coaching. What are you doing to ask questions rather than give answers and focus on the person rather than focusing on the problem? You might want to ask a few basic foundational questions to get to understand what the situation is, and then focus on the present identity. In other words, what's going on in the person's mind that's causing them to see the situation or the person in a way that might be getting in their way as a leader to be effective, and move them into that future identity, that future state that allows them to put an action plan together that they can express to you on what they're going to do differently to show up in a way that's consistent with their mission statement, consistent with being effective as a leader in the situation, and allows them to help the other person solve their own problems as much as possible. So there's your assignments: communication styles, emotional intelligence strategies, and coaching. If you can do those three things and tell us a story on each one, then we are making progress. Make sure you share all those stories with everybody because we all learn from each other. This is Dr. Gary making good bosses into great leaders with compassionate accountability.